Okay, thank you so much, Luana, for attending the interview, and welcome to Metal J Phoenix from Spain. And congratulations for this great album. I really loved it. Shades of Sorrow. There's no song called Shades of Sorrow. Is there any concept around it?
Yeah, the album is like all written about the process of pain that one person can go through, like the many mental health issues, really, like depression, anxiety, even like just sadness and anger. It's not really a conceptual album per se, because it's not just like one big story that we wrote throughout all the lyrics, but it's just about one theme, you know. So we're calling it semi-conceptual.
Okay. I think there's a big leap of quality between this album and the previous one. This one is much better than the other. Which are the main differences between them both?
I would say during the first album, even though at the time we didn't think that made any difference, nowadays we can see that it did, which is that we were still like learning how to write together. We didn't know each other very well. Like me and Fernanda did, but we didn't know the girls very well at the time, Sonia and Taina. And so it ends up, it makes a difference at the end, you know, like when you're learning how to write together, and then when you're like already very comfortable at writing music together, it definitely makes a difference. And we've been touring so much since we recorded Echoes of the Soul. We got better as musicians as well, you know, like playing the songs over and over and getting to know our weaknesses and what we could get better, and also listening to the critiques from people. At least for me, that's always very helpful. Like really taking in what I hear the most from people, and just taking that and trying to make something better for the next album. So yeah, I think we just grew up as musicians in many aspects.
Great. I love the sound of the album, especially the rhythm section and how it sounds in the global mix. Could you tell us about the production, recording, the studio, etc.?
We recorded it at the same studio as we recorded Echoes of the Soul, which is, funny enough, the same studio as I recorded Downfall of Mankind for Nervosa. So I've been recording there forever, since 2018 or something. Of course, we had a different producer this time. He was a friend from Sao Paulo that we just really like. And we decided to change also the guy that would mix the album, just to have something different. We love Echoes of the Soul. It's like as raw as we expected it to be. But for this album, like I said, we listen a lot to the critiques and reviews and stuff, and we decided to try to go to a more of a clean approach to this album, not as raw. Still raw, but you know, not as raw. Clean it up a little bit and see what people thought about it. And apparently people really liked it. But yeah, we that was the only thing that we changed, really. The rest was pretty much the same process as in Echoes of the Soul.
Okay, and how did you face it as a performer, as a drummer?
Well, I always try to get ready as much as possible before I go to the studio, like try to practice as much as possible. But since CRYPTA is always on tour, we don't really have that much time to be like at home practicing stuff before we record. As much as it's needed, and I would love to do that, because it really helps when you go to studio and you're like ready to do it. We didn't really have much time, so I did what I could. I like memorized the songs as well as I could before going there, and that was it basically. Did it over and over till it was done. But yeah, unfortunately, we never have that much time to prepare due to touring and other things.
So you would say that touring is the best way to practice for a new album?
Not for a new album. I think it's the best way to get better as a musician, for sure, because you have to play the same songs every day over and over, and you eventually you're gonna play that same song way better than you played before. Like, you could play it to begin with, but at the end of all the touring, you're gonna play that so much better. But to record the album, I really wish I did have time at home to just go through the songs like part by part and like clean up this field here and feel that. It all ended up working well in studio, but of course it's more work if you don't have the time to like get there just 200% ready to record. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. With all my respect for Sonia, and I love Sonia, but I don't miss her on the album. Tanya and Jessica are doing a remarkable work, and I love their solos. You can difference which is playing what, and like, for example, the old Iron Maiden between Adrian Smith and Dave Murray, and I find this in this album with these girls playing. How do you see their work?
I think it's awesome, like especially because during Echoes of the Soul, Taina got in the band very late. We had the entire album written already, so we wrote the album in 3 people, me, Fernanda, and Sonia.
Mm-hmm.
And in this album, it was quite the opposite. Since Sonia left and Jessica got in the band quite late, we wrote the album just me, Fernanda, and Taina. And then Jessica didn't participate on writing the album itself, but she wrote all her solos and all her parts, which is great. And like you said, it's very noticeable which solo is from each guitarist, which we really liked. But we're just very satisfied and happy about it, I would say, because like Taina didn't participate at all on the last album, and now she had the chance of like really writing the entire album with us.
Okay. One thing I like to ask musicians when they release a new album is, how do you manage to choose the order of the track list? Which songs are going to be the singles, the videos, and all of that? Was it difficult for Shades of Sorrow?
We try to be as democratic as possible with that, because everyone has a different taste, even within the band. And even to like approach death metal bands, we have different tastes. And so we always try to vote for the songs. So we know that at least the majority is happy with the outcome, because we know it's impossible that the entire band is going to vote for just one song. So we try to go for the one that is the most voted from a list of possible singles. And also we try to take one song that is more melodic, usually to release first, or one that is more aggressive, one of each, and then those are going to be the first singles, because we know that some people don't dig melody in death metal at all, and some people really do dig melody in death metal. And so we always try to release one each, so people have like, we have the chance of showing people that the album is diverse and not just like one note and one album full of melodies, or just an album full of blast beats. Try to showcase that first thing, so people don't like run away immediately from the band thinking that it's just going to be about the first single or second single. But yeah.
Okay, I am in the melodies side anyway, I gotta tell
you. Me too.
Trail of Traitors is one of the singles, and for me, one of the best songs of the album. Do you agree?
I think so. Yeah, it's one. It's not my favorite, but it's one of my favorites.
Which one is your favorite?
My favorite is Stronghold.
Nice one. Also, we have some questions made by the Metal DJ Phoenix community. Sometimes I ask the people, so if they want to ask something, and we have a couple of questions for you. Here comes the first one by Raúl Arguedas. Is, how do you feel? How do you do it for playing with such energy and being so fresh after a show? Is it a matter of being in shape, technique, or a combination of both?
I will say I don't sweat a lot in general, because I know that lots of people say to me after the game like, oh my god, you played for 1 hour and you're barely sweating, and I'm like, yeah, like I don't sweat much in general, even if it's 40 degrees outside. I don't do it very much. But I would say it's a combination of just practicing at home, which I always do. I never really stop practicing, even though sometimes I practice a little bit because I'm tired. I practice a little bit, and trying my best to use the right technique live, because sometimes you get like all excited about hitting very hard because you're live and all the adrenaline, but also you're gonna get super tired very fast with that. So I try to manage my expectations live, and but yeah, just practicing really gets you to a comfort point.
And Dave's Dream asked, what was your age the first time you played drums? When did you have your first drum kit and the first song you learned to play on drums?
I got my first drum kit when I was 12, and it was also the time that I started learning drums. And my first song was, I think it was Living After Midnight from Judas Priest.
An easy one, you may say.
Yeah, very. I think the easiest song that exists, except for AC/DC.
Okay, and the last from our people is Fran asked about your religious beliefs and if they are the same of the other members of the band.
I don't think so. I think we all have very different beliefs in this band. Most have no beliefs. I definitely participate in, it's not a religious gatherings. It's just I don't know how to call it. It's not a religion, but I do participate on some stuff with some people, and it's just very, very nice to have something to go to and see people sometimes. But I don't consider myself a person that has a religion or just one big belief. I'm totally not Christian. That is something to let people know. Absolutely not. Nothing against it. I'm just not. And it's more of an African related thing that I go to, but don't have a religion.
Okay, I want to ask you about the cover. I think it's amazing.
The artist is a guy from Mexico called Raúl Campos, and we wanted a painting, and we just wanted to try a guy that didn't do much stuff for metal, or that wasn't really involved with many other artworks, just to try something new, someone new from what we've seen around. And I found this guy's profile randomly on Instagram, very randomly, and just decided to ask him if he would work on commission, and he did. But he never worked for a band before. It was his first time working. My cat is going insane. I'm sorry if you can hear it from me.
Never mind. I have 3 cats around me as well, so
okay,
we are pet friendly.
All right. Yeah, he never worked for bands before, so he was just asking me what do you need and what shape and this and that. It was his first album cover art, and I don't think he's into metal as well, so that's just very different for us as well. Yeah, it's not like this person is getting stabbed or anything, having any physical pain. It's just mental pain. We put all these swords in direction to this person, so it's gonna be stabbed. It's gonna get stabbed at some point. It wasn't still, but this person is sitting still and waiting for that to happen. You can see also that it's tied, but not really. The ropes are loose, so you can almost understand from that it's sitting by its own will. It's not really tied there. If this person wanted to stand up and go away from those swords and all this pain that is coming, and put their minds into it and kind of see their own meaning behind it.
Okay. I want to ask you about the controversy by Fernanda and all that stuff about she emancipating, and how did you see it from being their partners in the band?
I mean, I think personal stuff is personal stuff. I also have my personal things that I go through and deal with in my life, and they're just totally not related to the band. And sometimes I post about it on my profile, very rarely, because I prefer that my profile is more drums oriented and just drums. I try to keep on just posting drums. Sometimes I post a picture with my boyfriend or I don't know, something I've seen that was cool around on my stories. So I don't know. I don't feel like I have much to say about it. It's just like, it's her stuff. It's her personal life. So I guess she can do whatever she wants with her personal profile as well. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you so much for the interview. We'd love to see you here in Spain very, very soon. Okay.
All right. Thanks for the interview.
Thank you, Luana. Be well.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.